Alright, hi everyone, it's me, 28 here, or Mr. 28 back. I guess I'm just going to respond to what someone said to me, about taking the car, taking the cash, having my own journey and myself. Well, what I'm going to say to you is, you know what, yeah, I get what you're saying and all that, but, about doing better, but I'm in the process of doing better right now, and you know what, you are only going to go as far for as much ambition, as much potential as you have. You're still only going to go as far as your dollars. Okay, because you need money for everything. You need money for a house, need it for wheels, transportation, absolutely everything. And I guess I thought that I was actually gonna get some help. This is, and I had this all reversed out. I recited, rehearsed what I was gonna say, but I obviously forgot that. But I obviously got really, really disappointed. Cried a little bit. I just know that some people, I've been getting DMs, okay, and people have been saying, look, I feel bad for you. Some people, in the DM said, I cried over your video, watching that, and that made me cry because obviously I don't want to make people upset, but I want people to see and people to understand. So what I'm going to say is this, and it's probably not going to go over well because someone's going to fire right back. Okay, that's how a discussion starts. One person says something, somebody else says something back. It keeps going back and forth. And hope is it doesn't turn into an argument. But I'm not here to argue. I'm here to be 28. Actually, 28 games, okay? And I'm very real, and I don't sugarcoat or anything like that. That's the point of what I've been trying to do here. But just imagine that you're a billion-dollar organization, and somebody does something very, very bold, reaches out to that organization, and they say, look, I'm having a tough time. I'm struggling right here. My family needs help. And I was wondering if I could do a big favor for you. Maybe, you could pay me something if I do enough. If you yourself think it's enough. And I'll scratch your back and you scratch my back. And they decide, and they subtly give you indications that, okay, we're gonna help you. And over time, it seems like that's what's going to happen, and you are so invested in what you do. You're invested in it. You say, I am determined, I'm dedicated, I'm devoted. I'm going to do this, not only for me, but for my family, because I've struggled so much, like everyone else has, but I want to earn it. And I'm giving you the affirmation that I'm going to help you, and I want to earn it. And you go years and years and years, okay? We'll say, for the sake, 14 years. 14 years you just help this company out. You help them out with essentially what's known, which is a prototype or a concept, okay? It's not confirmed as an actual product. But it's being hyped as that. It's being presented as that. But all the while, it's nothing more but a mere prototype and concept that many people are just, blowing up into their own thing. Everyone's a conceptualist and saying, okay, it's going to be this, no, it's going to be that, and they're making their own interpretation. And then you get to what feels like the point where you get into the finish line, right? You get to the finish line and you have this feeling, okay? You get these visualizations and you just got this good feeling like, I'm doing so good, I'm proud of myself, I'm going to tell my family, I'm going to tell my mother, I'm going to tell my father, okay? And then something magical happens and one thing leads to another, and you seem like you're getting closer and closer and closer to a miracle. And then you actually do tell one of your loved ones via message, via text message, they're going to actually help me out. I'm so grateful for this. And then your loved one is so and happy, and they think, it's going to happen, but then they question if it's a scam, all that. And you don't question that because you're confident with that. Because you know that they've been watching you for a very, very long time. You've been given an indication of that. And then what happens is, in the very end, you're actually fed the real surprise, which is the truth, that it was just all a lie. It was just all made up. And you were used as a ploy and a mechanism, okay, as a control variable for that prototype to succeed. How would you feel? How would you feel if you felt like someone used you like that? What do you think the number one conclusion would be by the average ordinary person that invested their time for over a decade, okay, just over a decade, and felt like they, and not only helped out this this organization that's very prevalent or prominent and very well known, but actually carved out, a brand for themselves, started branding themselves, started giving themselves an identity, because they felt like that organization was the motivation for them to do that, and it led that person, okay, the hopeful person that's fighting for the miracle, to go farther and feel great about themselves, okay? What if all that happened, and in the very end, to the average person, they got a proverbial, and please excuse my language, okay? But I gotta make a point. They got a proverbial, fuck you. We're not gonna help you. How would you feel? How would you feel? How would you feel if that happened to you? What's the number one thing that you'd say or want to do? Probably would want to avenge these people, right? Which is, by the way, not what I'm going to do. But how would you feel if you were promised a reward, and in the end, all that was a point about the prototype or the concept? And in the very end, it was just rags to better rags. Or in real life, Grand Theft Auto 4. To make the point. Wouldn't you feel rotten? Wouldn't you feel angry? Wouldn't you feel pissed? Wouldn't you feel used? Wouldn't you feel lied to? And then what if you had a loved one, okay, that who's not very mentally sound, okay, and who has either schizophrenia, psychosis, bipolar, and you tell that individual on their worst day, where they're so God-centric and religious, okay, that they think they got eyes in the back of their head and they know it's evil, and they know evil when they say it, and you say that to them and say, look, they're not gonna, you know what, they're not gonna help us out. I'm not getting this. I was screwed over and lied to. And that person with mental illness flips, okay, and immediately starts screaming, raging, flipping out, destroying things, and getting retaliatory because they can't control themselves, because every time they think something bad happened, they think it's the devil. And you had to deal with that. When you thought, and it's the very situation you wanted to get out of, which is part of the reason why you did this thing, to get this reward, to get out of the bad situation that you're in. How would you feel if, on top of knowing that this happened, that you were screwed over, how would you feel? Not really good, huh? I don't think so. You wouldn't feel good. And then how would you feel if some people watching your video were actually crying over that because they intrinsically felt bad. And they felt bad for you. And then you start crying. It's not that they're crying, you're crying. And you feel bad. And what if someone starts communicating with you and saying all these things like, you changed the world, okay? You changed the world, and you've done such a wonderful thing, and you've helped us out, and we appreciate everything you've done for us. All that. And then to find out it's a polar opposite of that. Wouldn't you just want to be done with it? Wouldn't you feel terrible? And something else. What if a whole bunch of people you don't even know over the internet, social media, on Reddit or Discord or whatever the case may be, or Grand Theft Auto forums, okay? What if someone, and you were a little depressed, okay? You just had your father or a loved one die. You're going through grief, okay? And you had thoughts of killing yourself. and someone says, I was nice to you in the beginning, okay, but you're I mean, you're such a strange person. Kill yourself, dipshit. What do you think about that? That's rotten. That's horrible. That's horrible. Okay? I'm going to make a point, one, another, and in 5 to 10 years, when this channel does reach mature growth, okay, because my stuff is not going to get out there in 1 to 2 years, let's be honest. Okay? The SEO isn't good to the little guy. It's not. It's going to take 5 to 10 years, for my channel to get noticed. When people, ordinary everyday people start watching all this, like, what the hell is going on here? What happened? I mean, was this guy like fucked over or something? And that is my point. Okay? But back to what this person said about me doing better. I'm in the process of trying to do better, but I need help. But you know what? In this world, you can't trust anyone. You can't trust anyone. I thought I could trust lawyers. I thought I could trust car dealers. I thought I could trust Department of Health and Human Services. People don't get it, don't understand. Okay? Try talking to a cop 47 times, a different cop 47 times telling them the same thing. To have nothing get done. You go back into your house, and the shit starts up again. And your house gets destroyed, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. Except internalize it, okay? And try to get your family to understand what your family doesn't understand. Because they've been through mental illness. So it's like, it's nothing. It's nothing. And then one of your cousins tells you to leave your house. Leave the house. You don't have nowhere to go. There's no corona pointing you where to go. It's the real world. And my father is right about it. But back to what I said. People who, the only way to get ahead, the only way, path to paradise is struggle and strategy. And those who don't deserve money get it dirty and easy. Those who need that money get done dirty. They get done dirty. And those who work hard with merit and intent, good intentions, get screwed over. Deception overrides authenticity. And that's your GTA 6.